Imagine your body has a secret, one that slowly turns you to stone. It starts with a simple bruise, or maybe a harmless fall from a bicycle. But instead of healing, something different happens. Under your skin, where soft muscle should be, a new bone begins to grow. This is not a story from a fantasy book. It is a real and devastating medical condition. Doctors call it Fibrodysplasia Ossificans Progressiva, a long name for a simple, terrifying truth. The body is building a second skeleton, one that imprisons it from the inside. This condition is incredibly rare. So rare, only a few hundred people worldwide have been diagnosed. Most doctors will never see a single case. Because of this, it is often misunderstood. But for those who live with it, the reality is inescapable. The person inside remains fully aware as their body becomes less and less their own. The long and difficult journey of FOP often begins in the quietest way. It does not announce itself with a loud alarm. Instead, it starts with a small, easily missed clue. Many children born with this condition have a distinctive feature from their very first day of life. Their big toes are different, shorter, bent, sometimes missing a joint, making them stiff. In a busy hospital, this small detail can be overlooked. It seems like a minor quirk. As the child grows, other signs may appear. Small, mysterious lumps can form under the skin, on the neck, on the shoulders, on the back, feeling like a knot in a muscle. At first, they may not hurt. They can be confusing for parents and for doctors who have never seen FOP before. They might be mistaken for a cyst or a harmless tumor. The child seems healthy, running and playing like any other. The family has no idea that a genetic switch has been flipped, preparing the body to respond to injury in a devastating way. These early bumps are the first stirrings of the second skeleton, clusters of cells getting ready to transform. Over weeks or months, the soft tissue of the lump will slowly calcify, hardening into real bone. This process is called ossification. For many families, the diagnosis follows the first major event, a flare-up after a minor injury. A large, hard mass forms, and the frightening reality of Fibrodysplasia Ossificans Progressiva comes into view. The calm of daily life with FOP can be shattered by a flare-up. It can be triggered by a bump or a fall, set off by a virus like the flu, or happen for no reason anyone can see. It starts with discomfort, then swelling, puffy and large. The skin can become red and warm to the touch, like a deep infection. It is the body's construction site, working in overdrive. The pain can be intense, not a surface ache, but a deep, throbbing pain from tissues being invaded and transformed. Imagine the worst muscle cramp you have ever had, and it doesn't go away, for days or even weeks. Even the light pressure of clothing or a bedsheet can be unbearable. For a child, it is frightening and confusing. They only know something hurts terribly, and their own body is attacking itself. As the swelling fades, something new is left behind. The soft, pliable muscle or tendon is gone. In its place is a new, permanent piece of bone. This bone can be jagged, like coral, growing in sheets or ribbons that cross a joint, acting like a permanent internal cast. The joint can no longer bend. The movement is lost forever. Each flare-up steals another piece of mobility. This cycle of pain and loss is central to living with FOP. People learn to read the signs, manage pain with medication and rest, and live with a constant sense of dread. Any flare-up could be the one that takes away the ability to walk, to feed oneself, or to hug a loved one. It is a slow, painful process of being locked in. One of the most tragic and counterintuitive aspects of FOP is its relationship with injury and healing. In a healthy body, a cut or bruise triggers repair. For a person with FOP, the same process goes terribly wrong. The body replaces instead of repairs. It receives the signal of trauma and responds by building bone. A simple fall, that means a scraped knee for another child, can lead to a permanent bone forming in the leg. The very things meant to help A routine vaccination or injection can be enough to trigger a flare-up. A dental procedure can traumatize jaw muscles, leading to new bone growth that could permanently lock the jaw. Even a small biopsy to diagnose a lump can cause explosive new bone growth. Surgery seems logical, but FOP interprets cutting as major injury, launching massive healing that results in explosive new bone, often leaving the person worse off. This is why surgery is avoided unless life or death. This reality forces extreme caution. Children avoid rough play. Every environment is scanned for hazards. Life is lived on high alert to avoid waking the sleeping giant of new bone growth. For a long time, the cause of FOP was a deep mystery. How could a body turn its own muscles into bone? The answer lies in our genes. In 2006, scientists made a breakthrough. Nearly every person with FOP has a single tiny mistake in one gene, ACVR1. ACVR1 acts like a construction manager for bone, telling when to build and when to stop. In health, it's precise. In FOP, the mutation breaks the manager and the on switch gets stuck. When a muscle is injured, the broken ACVR1 sends the wrong message. Emergency! Build bone now. Cells follow and turn soft tissue into hard bone, a mistaken identity at the cellular level. This discovery explained FOP, enabled a definitive genetic test, and gave scientists a target. Fix the faulty switch, interrupt the wrong signal, and tell the body to stop building the second skeleton. When a child is diagnosed with a FOP, the news sends a shockwave. In most cases, the mutation is spontaneous. No history, no warning. One day you have a healthy child. The next, a rare progressive disease with no cure. Fear, grief, and helplessness can be overwhelming. Families reorganize life around the disease. Parents become experts and fierce advocates. In schools, in clinics, in the community. They learn to say no to well-meaning but dangerous suggestions, like muscle biopsy or routine intramuscular injections. They child-proof in a new way to prevent life-altering injuries. Every decision, vacations, playdates, is filtered through the lens of FOP. How can we keep our child safe? Growing up is different. A simple game of tag carries risk others can't imagine, leading to isolation. Many children find joy in safer pursuits, art, music, reading, building resilience and creativity. Families connect worldwide through organizations and forums, sharing flare-up tips, specialists, school strategies. They celebrate small victories and mourn new losses together, forging a powerful bond. As FOP progresses, the second skeleton grows, and the world of the person living with it shrinks. New bone across joints creates permanent limitations. Shoulders and elbows lock. Brushing hair or reaching for a glass becomes impossible. Hips and knees freeze. Walking grows difficult and a wheelchair becomes necessary. If the jaw fuses, eating becomes a major challenge requiring a liquid or soft diet. Even speech can become muffled. Life becomes a series of creative problems to solve. People with FOP become masters of adaptation, using tools to extend reach, to dress, to bathe, and modifying homes for independence. They learn to move the entire body to accomplish what others do with a single joint. Beyond the physical, there are social and emotional hurdles. A world not designed for limitations, inaccessible spaces, and intrusive attention. Maintaining friendships requires effort from everyone. Adapting activities, choosing accessible options, learning to advocate and to listen. Despite immense difficulty, many lead full, meaningful lives. They are not their disease. They are artists, writers, advocates, professionals. They love, build families, and contribute with humor, joy, and a profound appreciation for small moments. For decades, FOP was a story of management, not treatment, pain control, supportive devices, and injury avoidance, but no way to stop new bone. A new chapter began with the discovery of ACVR1, the key that unlocked modern research and targeted strategies. Labs worldwide now study the faulty gene and its protein, mapping every step from a bump on the arm to heterotopic bone, building the foundation for effective treatments. Several potential drugs are in clinical trials. Not cures, yet, but treatments designed to block the wrong signal, acting like a shield to reduce flare-ups or make them less severe, aiming ultimately to stop new bone altogether. People with FOP bravely volunteer, paving a future where no one is imprisoned by a second skeleton. The road is long, with setbacks, but for the first time, there is a clear and promising path forward. The story of FOP is a story of contrasts, a body both fragile and unbreakably hard, a disease isolating yet forging a tightly knit community. The path remains difficult, but the future is brighter than it has ever been, a testament to science and the human spirit. Our first responsibility is compassion. People need understanding, careful medical care, inclusive communities, accessibility. Every small act of kindness lightens the load. Our second responsibility is to support the search for answers. By solving this rare disease, we may help many others. The human body can be turned to stone, but the human heart cannot. With research and compassion, we can hope for a future where no one fears their own body. If this video helped, please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.